My name is Marianne Reyes, and I am originally from the DC, Maryland area, living in LA 12 years now. When I first started coming, yes, a lot of things. I was looking for more, one community, and I was doing the whole online thing for a long time and was always looking for a home church. So community, home church, a deeper teaching, all of it, everything. Everything and anything. And yeah, I definitely found that here. I saw so many familiar faces, a lot of old friends, and I immediately felt home. And then just being able to meet Papalo too, and actually just see that he's a good person and know that he's a good person, even like, you know, on and off, like it really solidified, like, hey, this is great leadership, this is a great home, this is a great covering, this is a great mantle, like you're in a good place. And I knew. So from there, yes, consistent since January.
This is a strange name. I don't know if it is a first name or a last name. Reyes. Who is Reyes?
Last name.
It's a last name? Huh? Sorry?
It's my last name.
Is your last name is Reyes? Go there quickly.
Can I rewind a little bit? So, okay, actually, yeah, just a little bit. So last week, I came on Sunday. So yeah, last Sunday, the last service, I came, and I'll tell you, I was struggling to come. Just like, I don't know, I'd have anxiety sometimes, and I was about like 2 hours late probably, but I came, and let me tell you, when he was declaring all of these things over our life, the blessings and just prophesying over our life, I receive all the time, but that Sunday service, it was heavy, and I knew I received something. Like, I just knew. I walked out of there feeling so much lighter, and just the past few days just so much lighter. And I came to service today, which actually happened to be the day that my dad was supposed to be here. My parents were supposed to be here for the first time, because he was supposed to come earlier this week, before we drove to Vegas and did the whole holiday stuff with my family. So this was the service that he was supposed to be at, but he couldn't make it, health issues. So now, I'm in the back of overflow, and I've always known, like, because I always end up in overflow. I told you I have like anxiety sometimes. I get here late or whatever it might be. I never really get a good seat. So, but I always knew, like, God has always told me that when he wants to speak to me, he will call me by name. And when Prophet Lovy asked for the last name Reyes, or first name, last name, but he said Reyes, I was like, whoa. Like, wait a minute. And at first I was like, oh, it's a common Spanish last name. There's a lot of Latinas here. It might be somebody. And then I realized, wait, first he's in overflow. I remember what God told me. And I was like, let me open my mouth and get this blessing.
Now, when the angel of the Lord mentioned this name to me, I had the name Reyes. Now, when I heard the name Reyes, the angel of the Lord told me, cancel the spirit of death.
Yes.
Are you listening to me? Cancel the spirit of death because of sickness. So I asked, what is going on? I wanted to dig deep to know where this thing is coming from, and then come to present time. So your father's last name is Reyes?
Yes, Papa.
Okay. So Mr. Reyes, as we speak right now, his life is in danger. Are you listening to me? There are 3 attempts the enemy did against Mr. Reyes. 3 times this man is supposed to die. The enemy has been sending attacks on this man. One time the enemy tried to send some kind of stroke. The enemy tried to send again another kind of stroke with blood pressure issues. Then this third one, Satan caused this man's heart to fail in some way.
Prophesy.
Because I am seeing in my vision, this man laying at the table, and I am looking on the side, and I am seeing the name Reyes, and I'm seeing this man being operated on. They cut this guy open. Are you listening to me? And I saw them trying to work on his heart, because they said there is some valves and things like that. The heart is failing because the heart is not pumping correctly. He is having heart failure kind of stuff.
Prophesy. Prophesy.
Are you listening to
Yes.
me? So they opened this man's heart, and the man's condition is critical. Am I speaking? Am I guessing? Am I saying the truth?
100%. 100%.
Where's your father right now?
He's home now. He just got off of his oxygen, but he's been in critical condition, and he was on life support very recently.
From what?
He had open heart surgery, and then he was bleeding out.
Prophesy.
I'm listening. Keep speaking. Yes, go ahead. I'm listening.
So he had open heart surgery, and then afterwards, after he recovered from that, he started bleeding out, and he lost so much blood. And they rushed him to the hospital. He barely had any blood left. He was in there for weeks, and he was in critical condition in ICU and on life support. I think he had about 8 bags of blood transfused. It was a lot.
Listen to me, young lady. God has entered into the scene concerning your father. The Lord Jesus has just intervened for the Reyes family.
He knew exactly what was happening, what was going on with my dad. So a couple months ago, he was admitted to, he had open heart surgery, quadruple bypass. He's been struggling for a long time now, actually. Just always weak and fatigued. And then he finally had open heart surgery, which he was very stubborn to get. He finally did. A week later, paramedics came because he lost a bunch of blood, I think from the medication or the blood thinners or whatever it might have been. But he ended up being in the ICU, critical condition for weeks. And he was on life support, like he had the little tube, like couldn't speak, couldn't breathe, like being fed by it and everything. And it was like that for a while. One testimony in that, I did go to the Healed conference earlier this year and got the prayer shawl. And I had that, and I brought it to him. I flew immediately to Maryland when I found out he got in the hospital. So put that over him. He didn't know what it was. He's never heard of Revelation Church. He's never heard of my experience or anything like that. But I did. And then he told me when he got the tube off, he ended up telling me that there was one time he was coughing a lot and he was in pain. Every time he coughed, his right side would always be in pain. And one time, during that time, my mom just said, get some rest, and she put the prayer shawl over him, just like a blanket. She don't know what it is either. She just put it like a blanket, and she left. And my dad said immediately when he started coughing again, continued to cough, it just immediately stopped being in pain. And he said ever since then, he didn't want it, it's so cute. Every time he's in pain anywhere, he'll put it on it. When I go see him, it's around his neck. It's like, So that's a big thing. And then also the fact that, friends from church were all praying for him. And Patrice, thank God for her, even put, his picture at the altar when I couldn't because I was in Maryland. And we've been praying heavily. When he got discharged, he was connected to oxygen for a while, and actually a long time. He just got off of it. He's been trying to test it, taking it off. But he was supposed to come here. The reason why he couldn't is because he's not well enough yet. So even though he's off of it, he's very weak. His muscles very weak, but he gets very fatigued easily. Like when he wants to try and exercise his muscles to get back active, he just gets so tired, and he's so thankful to the Lord that, for another chance. But I'm dying inside because I want him to have a healthy extension of life. I want complete restoration for him. And so immediately when he called for me and started talking about my dad, and he knew exactly, Pablo knew exactly about the open heart surgery, about losing blood, the blood pressure, all of those things were 100% accurate. And I knew from there, God has seen me, God has heard me, all of our prayers. Thank you to everyone who's been praying for my dad. He's heard us, he's seen us, and he's remembered my dad, and the whole church in that moment praying for him, an extension of life. I know he's gonna be restored, and I can't wait for him to come here and actually tell him that, tell him himself, tell y'all himself. Prayer is powerful. Prophecy is powerful. This house is powerful. Papa Lo is powerful. This grace is unlike no other, and it's real. This grace is real, and that extension of grace, I can feel it. If you can get in this covering, even if you're on live stream or what, because a lot of times when I can't make it or whatever, if I'm out of town or whatever it might be, and I'm live streaming, plug in. He's always live almost all the time. Plug in, because it makes a huge difference. A huge difference. I can't imagine not being plugged in and going through this time with my dad. Yeah, and even for my personal life, like I told you, I have my ups and downs or whatever, and just plugging into this grace and knowing, even with the prayer shawl, everything, believing that I can have my healing through this grace also. Plug in, live stream, I don't care. Plug in. This grace is different, man.
I love it. God is so good. So to Prophet Lovy, who's been used as a vessel, what would you say to him?
Thank you. I don't even know if is there a better word for thank you, Pablo? Whatever that greater word is, with all my heart, thank you so much. Thank you so much for, just I can't even. I'm just very grateful to have found you. Very grateful for your obedience, and it is an absolute honor to be here, to be under you, be under your teaching, be under your grace. Thank you so much for my family's restoration. The generational patterns, I didn't even tell y'all about that part. I told y'all the main stuff, but he called out the generational patterns on my dad's side, everything, and I believe it, it's done, extension of life for all of them, all of us. God, you are so good. You are so faithful. Thank you for the opportunity to be heard every single day. Thank you for the grace. Thank you for your mercy. Thank you for remembering my family. Thank you for hearing me. Thank you for putting me in position Thank you for the encouragement and the push to get here, even when my flesh is working against it. The highest praises be unto him. Thank you, Lord. All glory be to God.